Presto. Presto.
I'm here to read you some of my work, as I'm a writer and not a real storyteller. And I can't do this from memory. And in this, I'll explain why. But first, I have a promise to keep to myself. This is for the tip jar, if I make it through this alive. And this is for me. First, good. I've always been an outsider, and I was teased a lot. And because of that, I quickly became, and in fact still am, afraid of crowds, afraid of change, afraid to stand out, and afraid to speak up. For me, being here tonight is torture. But I can't show it, as my face doesn't do emotions all that well. And it never has. It's always been just this. Second one. Yeah. And because of all that fear inside of me, I had, and still have, a problem with stress, of being in the spotlight, a hard time concentrating and remembering things, reading things out loud, and even finding the right words for something, which I can tell you is a bit of a problem as a writer. So all my life, from grade school up to, well, about 15 years ago, I just tried to get along and be like everyone else. I just acted like I was the same as the guy next to me, while I knew I wasn't. I did things to be liked. I did things to be loved. I did a lot of things just to be accepted, and I got hurt time and time again, badly once even, ending up in hospital. And all that time I knew, deep inside of me, that I was just hurting myself in trying to belong, in trying to be someone I was not. When I was about 30, I was diagnosed with autism, and suddenly a lot of pieces started to fall into place. Through the diagnosis, I accepted who I was, accepted that I was different, accepted that I had fears, and that was nobody's fault. I just looked at life differently, as if my world was slightly tilted from that of everybody else, which gave me a unique, though possibly warped, perspective. And so I didn't have to try to belong anymore. And so I stepped out of my comfort zone, of masks, of deceit and lies, and faking it to be a real boy, to find out who I really was inside. As I liked to draw animals at that time, I took a little trip on the 19th of March in the year 2000, which was on a Sunday, to Autism, the Amsterdam Zoo. Now, that may sound stupid to many of you, but for someone like me, it was like going on a trip around the world, fighting against my fears every damn step of the way. I didn't draw much that day, as what I saw were a lot of animals in small cages. Lions, wolves, polar bears pacing up and down, swaying their heads, and with a look in their eyes which showed that they had given up, that they were just waiting to die. And I recognized that feeling of pain, sadness, of no way out, of being caged too long. But there were still a few who didn't pace, who just stood still, their eyes following the people, as if they were waiting for a chance to break out of that cage and take back who they once were. And I recognized that anger and that annoyance of never being broken. And as I then looked round at the people that surrounded me, I saw the same defeat, and in some, the same defiance. And for the first time in my life, I understood that everyone was living in a cage of some sort, and that I really wasn't that much different from them. For the first time in my life, I saw that I had a choice to either give up or abide my time and wait. Because having an affliction like my autism, or any other cage you might find yourself in, doesn't mean you are unable to do something. It just means that it's harder to do, but it isn't impossible. That day I made a promise to myself that if the fears would ever let me, if I ever got a chance, that I would speak up about what I saw that day. And it took me 15 years to get here. 15 years and 1 day. That's all. Thanks for listening.
Mira esto.